Hey, what's going on, guys? Connor Cook here. So, yeah, just here with a video, just talking about something I've been living with, like pretty much throughout most of my life, really. Basically, it's not a topic that I tend to talk about a lot on my channel, really. I mainly just talk about it whenever it is, relevant to talk about it. So, yeah, basically, I have autism, and this is something that might come as a surprise to some of you, but yeah. And I just want to say it is not a bad thing, even though people tend to paint it negatively. It's really not a bad thing at all. It's just something that you're born with, pretty much, and it's something that like 1 in 100 people have, and it is 4 times more common in boys than it is girls, and an even smaller percentage of that statistic don't even get themselves diagnosed until later in life, either because they don't realise they have the signs of it for diagnosis until then, or because they know they just don't want to, or they're scared of like what people are going to think of them. And that's pretty much the whole point in autism awareness. The whole point of it is basically just to help you come to terms with it. It's not a bad thing. It's, in some ways, it can be a good thing, because in many more good ways than there are bad. So yeah. Basically, autism, it's basically something that goes on up here, pretty much, the frontal lobe, I think it is, and basically you tend to have like these interests or hobbies, I guess. Some people call them obsessions, and I don't really like the word obsession, because people tend to associate that word negatively, and I just don't like it. So basically what I'm saying here is that there are certain things that people might like more than others, and they'll be more intuitive, and they might be more, I guess, fascinated by it, really. So like, for example, some people I know into bus spotting or train spotting, and basically if you asked like all the different like engines and vehicles that are used, they'd probably be able to name every single one of them, because they're that knowledgeable on it. And yeah, and part of that is stemmed from the fact that it's a hobby of theirs. So some of them might also have, like, say, a hobby in arts and crafts, or say cooking or travelling, which the latter two are more what I'm into. I like cooking and travelling. You might also be into gaming as well. Things like that, trivial things like that. You might be a bit more thorough in what it is than an average person. So yeah, and it is not a bad thing. And basically, I used to get bullied for it quite a lot when I was a kid, and that's part of the reason why I don't tend to talk about it a lot on the internet, because there can be quite a lot of toxic people on there, and they might either laugh at you, or they might call you certain names that I do not wish to address on camera, and you know, it's kind of nerve-wracking in a way, but yeah. And yeah, I don't know why, but I suddenly just shut down then. I mean, my god, I'm probably just gonna have to cut this bit out. Oh boy. So something else that I tend to struggle with my autism is my hand-eye coordination, and also my eye contact with whoever I'm talking to. Social communication is something that people tend to struggle with when they've got autism, because I mean, it's kind of hard to explain why, but it's just really, really difficult. I mean, I struggle with that quite a lot, and a lot of the time that's usually the giveaway that I might be autistic, when I'm talking to people, and rather than looking into their eyes and talking to them face to face, sometimes I might be talking to that wall right there, or the windowsill, and yeah, it can be quite an embarrassing situation, especially if somebody points that out as well. And you know, there are people who might talk to you negatively because of that as well, and like, I've dealt with quite a bit of that at my work, and yeah, and when I explain it, sometimes when I explain I have autism, they don't even believe me. And yeah, and it's because of the fact that even though that a lot more people know about it now than, like, say 20 years ago, there is still not like a worldwide spread of it. It's not worldwidely known or aware of it. So yeah, and that's the whole point in Autism Awareness, which happened on Wednesday. I don't know if I said this already in the video, I might just be repeating myself, but that's actually another sign as well, by the way, about autism. Like, you tend to repeat yourself quite a lot as well, and sometimes you tend to stutter a little bit as well, and it's not a good situation for me, really. But I'm just going to talk about like how it's affected me in my life. So basically, I've had to come to these sessions like once a year at the CDC. I can't really remember what it stands for. Is it like Child Disability Care or something? Child Disability Care? I don't really know. I've had to go to these sessions like once a year, and basically at one of my first ever sessions, the specialist basically said that I was not going to be able to do a lot of the everyday things that, you know, I can do now, like walking, talking, things like get a job, live independently, you know, things like that an average person can do, and that I was always going to have like a care worker or something live with me, basically. But yeah, but then I went to like a special needs school. Basically, if you don't know what a special needs school, it's basically a school that specialises with people with a disability or children with a disability. And at the school that I went to, it was basically a nursery, a primary school, and a secondary school integrated as one. So I didn't really move up to a secondary school. I was at the same school pretty much throughout nursery, throughout primary school and also throughout secondary school. And I believe they've also implemented a sixth form, like on the last couple of years that I was at school as well. So I chose not to go for sixth form because I just wanted to go straight into college, to be honest. So yeah, but yeah, it was like that. They were, even though I didn't really enjoy it at that school, they did kind of give me the tools I needed to basically for me to basically be able to survive independently. Like basic things like with me maths and everything, they were pretty helpful with that. Basically, one of my fascinations is with numbers, and which helps quite a lot in everyday life, because obviously we have to learn to manage money and stuff like that. Thankfully, one of my autistic fascinations is with money, so I can, manage it a little bit better. And yeah, and also travel as well. They've kind of helped me a bit with that as well. I remember that we used to take trips out into Chesterfield sometimes, and I was basically given a gold card as well. School applied for a gold card on my behalf, and even though they were really supposed to keep it, there was a time where I actually forgot to give my gold card back to them, and then an awkward situation arose where I overslept, ended up missing my taxi, so I basically had to make my way into school or call in absent. And basically what I did was, it was something I'd never done before. I took the bus. I took a public bus into school to get to school, which, I'm not gonna lie, was not a fun experience. It was quite nerve-wracking. But yeah, thankfully I had my gold card at that point, because otherwise I wouldn't have been able to do that. I would probably have had to pay, what was it, like £5 or something a day ticket was at the time. Obviously it's a £3 single fare now, but back then the maximum amount that you would have to pay was I think about £4 or something like that. It might have been a bit more than that. And then I had to get like 2 buses there as well, which really didn't help matters. So it was also figuring out like which bus it was to get. So yeah, it wasn't a fun experience, but I managed to pull it off. I managed to get to school by public transport, and basically school allowed me to keep the gold card for that reason, in case it happened again. Yeah. So yeah, I did go a little bit off topic there, but basically there was a reason behind that story as to like how I got to where I am today. So basically, and I say basically so much, like, right, so it was so the story I just told there was how I became who I am today. So people ask me sometimes, like, how do I cope with, traveling to and from places with my autism, and basically I just get somebody to help me plan the route, and that's about it really. And as for how I get around that's that very place, usually I tend to stick to places I'm most familiar with, and like And sometimes if I'm feeling really brave, sometimes I might go to places I'm not so familiar with, but even then I'll just go for the first time with a friend or with a family member or whatever for the first thing, and then on the second journey maybe go on my own and see how I cope. But I make sure I have a plan in place in case things went wrong. So yeah, I also have like fascinations with pretty colours as well. I don't know where that subject came from, but yeah, it's one of the autistic traits, and I just want to like try and get as many as I can in this video, so that in case this video kind of blows up or whatever, I doubt it will, but So something else about autism as well is that it's planning. Before I was talking about pretty lights and stuff, I was talking about planning. So basically, if anything goes wrong, it can be a distressing situation for me, because you make all these plans and then just have it changed at seemingly the last minute. Like, say for instance, you're trying to travel to and from somewhere and you've planned the whole journey and everything, and one of the buses or trains get cancelled at the very last minute, and you have to like work around the frequency that service runs, and you basically have to work around that. It can be quite distressing, because you have to work out like what time you're going to make it home, and whether you are even going to make it home, or whether you're going to have to arrange alternative transport and things like that. That's something I sometimes have to deal with whenever I'm travelling to places, and it's not fun. Probably my worst experience of that, worst example of that, was when I went to Stoke for the weekend. I had fun there, but when it came to getting back home, I looked on the Trainline app, because I got the train to get there, and it said that one of the trains that I was meant to catch was cancelled due to a flood that happened the prior day. And yeah, basically the line was flooded, I think in a tunnel, and it was not great. It was not great at all. So I had to make alternatives. I had to make an alternative journey back, basically, and I had to get help for that, because I wouldn't have been able to get back otherwise. So yeah, it was very, very distressful. It was very stressful for me, and it was not something that I wanted to experience again. So yeah, extreme anxiety, that's another thing. I was talking about how stressful it can be when certain changes happen. It can also be quite stressful when you're socializing with someone as well, especially with people who you're not so familiar with. That can also be, that's something that sometimes I still deal with that, but I think over time I've sort of learned to deal with it a lot better in comparison to when I was first diagnosed. And like, you can also get like meltdowns and shutdowns whenever certain changes happen as well, and that one is a little bit difficult to talk about, because I do have quite a few examples of that happening to me. But basically, whenever whenever a change happens, like say I'm at work and you know, we're close to finishing, about 1 hour or so until this shift is finished, till all my orders are done. And let's say one of my managers comes up and adds another order from a different line because that particular line, say, broke down or something. Let's say I got an extra order and that order would set me back another, like say, half an hour to an hour or something. That can be quite stressful for me as well because, well, it's another order that I didn't know we were going to get, firstly, and it also comes into the routine as well. Like, if you have a planner and you have such and such orders, and then a manager just adds another one on because another line can't do it. You know, it can be quite difficult to deal with, and there have been instances where I've been, you know, having meltdowns and shutdowns and stuff, and yeah, it's not fun. But you know, that's basically my video on autism. It's not all bad because with all my hard work, I've been able to basically achieve this house. I've been able to save up the money to get a mortgage on it, and I think it is safe to say that I have come a very long way since my initial diagnosis of my autism, honestly. And you know, I'm quite proud of that. I'm quite proud of, you know, what I have achieved. I'm quite proud of with how I've developed as a person. You know, I've been able to deal with certain social situations a lot better, and while I won't say I'm quite 100% with coming to terms with my disability, I think I've made good progress on it. And you know, I'm also trying to learn to adjust to like certain changes in routine, and also learning to deal with me meltdowns and me shutdowns and what have you. So yeah, it's still going to be a difficult road, don't get me wrong, but I have come a long way to get to where I am now, and for that alone is a good thing. And so this is going to be it for the video, guys. 23 minutes and 10 seconds, and a lot of that was probably mostly just me stuttering throughout the whole thing. Yeah. I do hope you've learned a little something about it. If you have autism yourself, or if you have a family member that you know, has it themselves, if you want to, that is, feel free to share your experiences with it in the comments down below. And it's just nice to like learn different stories about people, about how people deal with it, because you know, everybody's different, and who knows, if you've got it yourself and you learn these different stories from other people that have it, maybe you'll be able to figure out how to deal with that particular thing yourself. So yeah, if you have autism yourself, do feel free to share in the comments. And also, if you're one of those people who don't quite understand autism, or if you want to learn more, do feel free to check out the Autism Awareness website as well, because that website has pretty much everything you need to know about it. And there's also all these different like spectrums of autism as well that I didn't really touch upon in the video. I've just touched upon what I've got basically. So yeah, this is going to be it now, guys. So thanks for watching, I'll see you guys in my next video. Happy Autism Awareness Day, and even though it's late, and yeah, good luck to everybody out there who is also dealing with the disability. Peace out, guys. Have a nice day. Bye bye.